So now is as good a time as any to talk about psychic abilities. There are a lot of people who think it's a lot of codswallop, and to be fair, there are a bunch of charlatans around as well. But most of it is to do with your intuition and listening to what your guides or your higher self is talking about. If you want to know about a little bit about those, there is another video covering bits like that. But generally, it will cover people who do runestones, tarot, um, that sort of thing, and other people they're just clairvoyant. Some people just know things, others they hear things. And just because you hear things doesn't mean you're losing your marbles. And clairvoyant means seeing things. Clairaudient means hearing things. Claircognizance just means you just know things. You're one of these people that can just knows when something is the case, or just knows things and nobody ever knows why, least of all you. Then you're more likely to be something that is claircognizant. I am mostly claircognizant, so I occasionally hear things, I occasionally have pictures go through my mind and see things. Most of the time it's a good idea to keep it to yourself, but no, you have to take notice of these things. So much of modern life is so chaotic. There's radios on all the time, there's TVs on all the time, to the point these days that a large number of people are actually really scared of silence and just being left with their own thoughts. Some people, that's a scary place. Occasionally for me, that's a scary place. But if you start listening to what not your brain, because that's the left brain thing, what your mind is putting into your consciousness, you will find very often that it's relevant to what you're doing, or you can pick out something about somebody. It's like when you want to do a deal with somebody, I don't know, buying something, or you've got in your head that you want to do something and you go somewhere to look it up, and then there's some salesman telling you that it's wonderful, whatever it is, and but there is that something, and probably most people it will hit in what we call the solar plexus chakra. I'll go into those later, so don't worry too much, which is just below your rib cage. And it's the same sort of feeling as you probably had if you ever got sent to the headmaster's office at school. There's that sort of griping feeling in your stomach. But that is your intuition talking. And even though whatever your salesperson is trying to show you or tell you about looks like the best deal in the world, it's usually a good idea to listen to your intuition. And even if it looks brilliant, generally don't do it. Whenever I have fought against that and not worked that way, it has always gone pear-shaped for me. And it's a matter of actually listening to yourself. And like I've said many times, the world as it is so noisy, chaotic. Everything wants your attention. Everything is coming in all the time, sound, vision, all sorts of things all at once. You don't get a chance to actually listen to your thoughts. Beware of your thoughts, by the way. They're a bit like clouds. They look real, they look solid, but there's nothing to them a lot of the time. So don't always believe your thoughts, because they do have a habit of lying to you. So be careful with that. But if you can allow a lot of these things to come up in your consciousness and actually trust, which was, trust what you're getting. It was the hardest thing in the world for me to do, was to trust my intuition. It's learning to trust what you're getting. Uh, but it was only when I actually analysed when things had gone wrong or when things had gone right, and what my thought process was leading up to it, that I managed to work out where a lot of the right things came from and where all the wrong things came from. So, and people will do psychic readings. They can use various tools. There's rune stones, there's tarot, angel cards, all that sort of thing. Really, all they're doing is providing the triggers to be able to come up with a coherent picture of what they're trying to find. So with a tarot, let's say, you can come up with the same card in 5 readings in a row and it will mean a different thing each time. It's a bit disturbing for me, who's a bit of an analytical person. I do actually kind of like a fixed format for various things, and I haven't been able to do that for this at all, and annoys the snot out of me, I have to say. So, but learn to trust what you're feeling or what feels right. I realise it's probably unfashionable that everybody's into AI and logic and all this other stuff going on now, but really taking time for yourself, like I'm in the woods at the moment, it's apart from the aircraft that all seem to have congregated on the area since I've been here, it is quiet. You just hear the birds, you've got the trees, it's shady, and it's very calming and grounding and all that sort of stuff. That's when a lot of my best insights come, and a lot of my best thoughts are, like I said, don't always trust your thoughts, but a lot of the best stuff I've ever dealt with has come up in my mind in situations like this. I make a point of taking time during my day where you're not doom scrolling, you're not just doing anything, just to sit back, relax, let your mind freewheel, because that's when you'll find it. And don't allow distractions. Don't be going along with music blaring in your ears or watching a video, although you're very prone to walking into things if you watch a video while you're going along, but you know what I mean. Just allow yourself to freewheel and you'll be surprised what comes to you. Take a note of what comes to you and then see what happens as time goes on, and you will learn what to trust and what not to trust. You have your own internal imagery, be it visual imagery or even audio imagery, and you will see the correlation if you look for it, and then you can help people, help yourself. You will start to see things in people that you didn't actually realise were there, and it's all sort of exploded for me. But like I said, initially it annoyed the hell out of me that I couldn't have a fixed system. I just have to learn to trust and freewheel, and that has always been very challenging for me. But if you can actually do that, you will find that you get a lot more insights, and it is actually quite a worthwhile exercise to just let your mind freewheel and see what it comes up with. Write it down if you have to, if you're that sort of person. But just keep in your mind what you saw or what came into your mind, and then just watch how life unfolds and see what of it was relevant. You'll start to know what's relevant over time just because of the way it feels. I realise that sounds all rather airy-fairy, but I can't think of a better way of doing it. I know it's supposed to be spirituality without the fluff, but a lot of this stuff will sound fluffy, will sound what's the popular word lately? Woke. Which seems to be shorthand for many people for anything they don't like. But allow it to happen. I mean, it's not going to hurt anybody. Give it a try. See what you find. But anyway, psychic abilities develop from there. You can go to groups that help your psychic abilities, and that helps. They'll help you find your way through. But certainly, if you're one of these people who know things but don't know why you know things, but whatever you know is always right or mostly right, then you're letting your psyche actually help you and inform you. So it is worth pursuing because you get so much more out of life, and so much of what people find important at the moment, like the latest song or what's #1 in the charts or this particular celebrity or that particular celebrity, it really starts to be more and more insignificant as you go on. Stop looking at the surface and look underneath, and you'll be surprised what you find. But if you're getting these ideas and you don't know where they've come from, you're not going nuts. It's just your guides, your higher self trying to tell you things. And if you can let the information in, you'll be surprised what comes up out of it. But no, just let it happen. Analyze it if you have to, but be careful, don't analyze it to death. Because if you've got an idea of what it's referring to and then you go and analyze it out of existence, then you've kind of negated your issue, haven't you? So it's another one of these things I've had to learn. And if you are going to continue down this path, which I recommend you do, let it happen. Like I said, you don't actually have to tell anybody about it. You don't have to go and tell a perfect stranger that you're seeing things or hearing things, because you could end up being sectioned or something, and that's not going to help. Prove it to yourself first before you start telling others, or find a group, spiritual groups. There are plenty around. Spiritualist churches do groups. There are plenty others around. Go to the one you're drawn to, what gets your attention straight off. There were plenty in my area when I went through this process, and the one I was drawn to was 70 miles away when there were others that were only 5. And I thought, really? Oh, well, I'm drawn to that one, I'll go there. And it was more than helpful, and I still have a lot of friends with that now. So help yourself, but trust your intuition, trust your insights. Don't dismiss them just because they seem like they're coming out of nowhere, because there is a reason they're there. So hopefully that'll help you with the start of this stuff. We can go further into it at another time, but I'm just trying to give you basic insights as to what's going on. So hopefully I will see you in another video. Bye bye now.